decided to bust them.
Yeah.
All right. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, they knew they were in bed because they had the house bugged. They had fucking cameras there. They knew where they were.
Yeah.
They knew they were in their bedroom. All right.
Yeah.
Just this bloke and this beautiful girl asleep. All right. And they fucking kicked the door in and threw fucking grenades into the bedroom.
Who were they?
The cops.
Oh.
They knew this girl and her husband were asleep in the bedroom. They kicked the door in and threw grenades into the fucking bedroom. Blew it a fucking bits. Just face.
Where was this? Where was this?
Just a few weeks ago.
Where?
In the Eastern States.
The cops are up for charges?
No.
They got away with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did they do
She
that?
had to get rushed off to hospital, have all this emergency surgery.
Oh,
Lost
she's still
her
alive,
hand,
she's
we
still
lost her eye, her face, everything. They flew fucking grenades.
What happened to the
at her.
guy who was in the bed with her? Oh,
Yeah, well, he got fucked over too, but they not as badly injured as she did. She got really hurt.
Oh my goodness.
They just threw grenades in there.
Why didn't they just sort it out?
I know. Why didn't they just?
What did they do wrong in the first place?
They were selling drugs.
Oh, drugs. Yeah.
All right, and he was a bikie.
And she was a beauty queen sort of
Yeah.
thing. They must have wanted to wreck her friggin' face. Oh my God, talk about jealousy, whatever.
This is Australia.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, on my channel.
Whatever happened to? Come out,
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
or I'll
mate.
shoot.
I tell you what, mate. You know what? You know the worst time. I mean, your exception of the rule. When I do my videos, the worst attackers are Australian, and these guys come on. One guy said, and he claimed to be a Christian thing. I know you. You left a video on my night. You walk around with women's clothes on. Oh, no, it's bullshit. He said, you're lying. I had to correct myself. I get off my channel. He said, you're a closet queen. No, it's a bullshit. And all my viewers are on my side anyway. I mean, disgusting. And they try to bring you down like crabs in a pot being boiled or friggin' alive, getting out of the crab pot. They just bring you down. We're not in America, man. I was at Willie Nelson's manager, was sitting at the friggin' bar, and I heard the accent. Holy shit, yeah. Set me up with recording studios and, band everything. And because I was going back. They promote you. Even the guy that looked like Alice Cooper down south in Bridgetown, he was an American guy come over here, film producer, and saw this guy look like Alan Cooper, made a movie. I mean, Australians drag you down. They're jealous bloody cut snakes.
No.
Yeah. They abuse the shit out of you. And you know what pisses me off the most, mate? A lot of these Australians haven't ever had a gun to their head. I've actually had a gun to my head, and they are acting like heroes.
It's all fucking sludge boy, man.
Yeah.
He's got the whole fucking...
They think they're tough.
And he's in so many people's heads.
Yeah.
So many people's heads. Like most of the people in the world are infected.
Yeah.
Most of the people in the world.
Affected, yeah.
Many are called, but few are chosen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just so few people. And that's another thing that they keep saying on these videos. It's only a few people that are going to respond to this, okay?
Yeah.
They keep saying that. And most of the people are just going to turn this off. But if you're still watching this... that's what they always say.
And you know what I say to the
I'll have one more ciggy and then I'll get going.
Yeah, right, mate. Thanks very much. And you know what I say to diffuse the situation? I say if you've got a machine gun right now and you're in some war zone and you threaten me, I'm going to step back, man. I'm going to fight against this machine gun. I've got more respect for you because you're a real terrorist. But you bloody arsehole, bloody Australian attacking me, he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't tell the truth. I said, have you got a gun in your hand? Are you a real friggin' thug or terrorist? Are you just a would-be? Are you just somebody acting smart like a typical Australian? And when I went and lived in East Pakistan, mate, I was tortured by the bad terrorist and the good terrorist protected me thing. And I said, you come to this country, you got to live by the rules. I got to live by the rules in that country. I worked in security once, and this Muslim was praying 5 times on a friggin' mat during a robbery, and I had to go and do the rest myself because I was doing a bit of that and that, this and that. And he lost his job and crying out, Allah, what is Alpha Satan? I says, mate, in your country, which I have lived, they'll bash me up and everything if I didn't obey the law. So why don't you obey the friggin' law here? So anyway, so I said, if you're a real hero terrorist, I'll back off, mate. But if you're just a would-be threatening me, telling me, people like you should be scum of the earth, you're preaching and all this shit. And I thought he might be a Baptist or something. But anyway, and I diffused it. Yeah.
Remember how we said a couple of times that we're in forever?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Forever is happening now, yeah.
There's no rush. we're in forever.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
Okay? There's no rush. If
No,
we
it's
don't
already happened.
understand something, we just need to wait. If we don't feel like we're progressing, just wait.
Just wait.
There's no rush. We're in forever. It's God's plan.
Yeah.
It's God's world. Regardless of what Sludge Boy thinks.
Yeah.
We just wait. He's got the whole show. All we have to do is ask ourselves, have we got fruit right at this moment?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we need to be concerned with. We might be dead in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
And we missed a chance to have some fruit.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking about other stuff.
Yeah, planning our
And we missed
empires.
yeah.
Sitting on the throne.
Exactly. Some bloke was sitting in his dozer on a land clearing site.
Yeah.
He's having a break. He turned his machine off, and he was sitting in his machine eating his sandwich.
Yeah.
And 100 metres away, there was one of those big
Cranes.
one of those big chipping wheels that they put big logs into.
Yeah.
And it grinds them up.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was going over there.
Yeah.
He put his machine up, he's having lunch, and the fucking axle broke on the big wheel that was spinning. It came straight across the ground, 100 metres, and it fucking took him out as he's sitting there probably dreaming about this fishing trip that he was going to have.
Yeah.
Whack! So,
Gone in an instant.
30 seconds. That's all any of us have got.
Yeah.
Some bloke was walking across his lounge room and a sinkhole opened up in his
Yeah.
lounge room and down he went. How's that for
Yeah.
30 seconds?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Talk about 30 seconds. You remember my old mate Colin Clark from...
sometimes it's even quicker than that.
you know Colin Clark? Remember your old mate? I grew up with that pommy guy that my grandmother thought was like a grandson. He's real...
Yeah.
Old Colin Clark. You remember us to go down to Waroon and all those places?
Basically.
His daughter got killed in a car accident, hit by a truck. It swayed and just killed her instantly. And she was out having a party night, you know, and Colin was on the news and everything, interviewed, and he said she was heart of gold. My Trudy her name was. God, may she rest in peace. I met her. He was popping out kids and that. He's a real family man, but he bought this old house for about 15, 20 grand or something. It's worth 500 or 600. It's an old dump. He's got goats and sheep and everything on it. And all the kids live there and everything, man. It's like a crazy place, like a hillbilly. He loves family, but he's not Christian. And he's a real paganist sort of thing. But anyway, he's chased his wife around with a metal bloody dildo with tomato sauce on it, and he's like does stupid things like that. I'm gonna get you tonight. And he used to love jealousy. He'd lie in bed to midnight, and John Boy and George and me would sit around and try and get into her pants. This is back when we were 7 or something, and never succeeded. And she'd play the game because Colin loved it. He loved her getting all aroused and at midnight he'd say, "Rose, come to bed, I'm waiting for you." And we oh no, John Boy, George and me, oh no, because she was real gorgeous, but she smoked and everything, she probably still does. And oh no, nothing's going to happen. And we were real naughty, it was like, and I won this Porsche once. Remember I won the Porsche? Remember that time I won the Porsche? Yeah, a car, $100,000 car. All right, isn't the story? I'll tell you at the end of it. I drove down to Waroon and Colin sees the car. He taking us straight. I'll meet you at the football club. And all the football players come and say, "Oh, you got a rich friend, oh, Porsche, everything." And on the back of it says for rent. And I'd won it, but I rented it. And then I had to give my credit card. And if I got one scratch on it, I had to pay $5,000. I took Lily down with me that day.
How long did you have it for?
3 days.
3 days.
Plus accommodation, everything. It was raining and with this forest, horses coming up to you.
Damage it.
But I still drove it because I had to show off.
Yeah.
One scratch, I was up for $5,000 off my credit card. No, 3 days, mate, but I did. I won it, yeah. It was whatever. I took a post box or something, and that come up in a raffle. And Colin thought, "Oh, he's rich." And you know what happened next? All the kids asked me for money. Even Trudy's bloody boyfriend. Could you give us a loan, 10 grand or something?
So you drove it around for 3 days, eh?
3 days, mate.
Fun.
Yeah, open top and people coming past,
Yeah.
woman, everything.
Porsche.
It was a Porsche, but it wasn't a Ferrari. Mate, good times, but the rain and the bloody staying this place with the animals coming up to you and everything. It was like a farm, sort of a resort with spa and everything. Yeah,
So-
good times, but bad times too.
Right now, I'm feeling kind of like This is what's going on in my head. I'm feeling abandoned. Right?
You mean forsaken?
Yeah. But it says that the chosen are going to, that's the sign. They feel forsaken.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe and the hypocrites don't feel forsaken.
Because you're not fooled by all those stories in the Bible. You know it's a metaphor anyway, but it's...
Yeah. Because I can't accept...
No, because they're not helping anyone.
So I can't talk to any conventional Christian about it because it's like they're all every word.
Well, they'll say you're going to hell just because you smoke dope or something.
Well, I'm not an every worder.
No.
And you've got to be an every worder.
Oh, you get kicked out of Bible study in Baptist church,
if you're
mate.
not an every worder, wherever church you go to, if you're not an every worder,
you're right, yeah.
So I'm not an every worder.
Yep.
I'm a Gnostic in that respect, right?
Yeah, well, I'm more of a scenes, but very similar. Yeah.
Well, it's this whole thing about Satan being the high angel.
I love that story, the Sophia, the first woman archangel.
I mean, perfection.
He was never in heaven.
Can't corrupt itself because it's perfect.
Yeah, and how could lie from the beginning in heaven?
Yeah, he
was already from the start. He was already here.
There was no truth in him from the beginning.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound
and he dragged
like
the fallen angels down.
High covering cherub.
Well, that is a Gnostic version, but
that's in King James.
What? Yeah, the fallen angel. Yeah, I know, but
Jesus said
not the Gnostic version.
But in the New Testament,
what's it say?
Jesus said he was a liar from the start.
There
was no truth in him from the beginning. Does that sound like the bright morning star
in heaven,
the covering cherub?
Maybe it was already fallen. Oh, he's talking about heaven.
He was a liar from the start.
Yeah.
There was no truth in him from the beginning.
Oh, from the beginning.
Does that sound like the bright morning star, the covering cherub in heaven, the
as you say,
perfect, uncorruptible angel?
Who would pick? They would pick the more pretty version. The morning, the son of the morning, all sort of thing. They don't want the abomination version.
Sludge Boy doesn't want that story out.
He's an ugly little.
He wants us to think that he was the morning star.
Yep. And as you said, one day we'll see who he is, and we'll say that creature over there was the cause of the trouble in the friggin' world.
Is that what caused all?
I don't know if it's a little thing. It could be 7 foot, mate.
Is that the lighter?
Yeah, mate. Hold on. I'm just trying to rock my smoke here.
Yeah. So, and this whole thing about the Adam and Eve story, and it's like you just can't.
No, I go beyond that. It was seduction.
One simple mistake from a brand new human that God got offended and decided to condemn us all to misery.
You go back to ancient lost texts, and I don't know why it never got in the Bible, because obviously mysteries of Isaiah and the mysteries read between the lines. Yeah, it was a seduction thing, like you said. She was seduced. I don't know if it was sex or it was lust or whatever it was. Emotion.
Obviously, there was something going on, but to just think that
started off with pride, then it was lust, and then it was murder. Those three things.
Yeah, but I mean, to get kicked out of the garden and condemn the whole of humanity to misery.
Mormons don't believe that.
One mistake.
Yeah, I got to give credit to Mormons on that one. They say that they never sin, they transgress. It was all set up. It was all meant to be. That's their version. But there's still a fruit. It's still a friggin' fruit. Which wasn't an apple.
But so
penis bone at bottom. No, that's forming Adam. Yeah.
I'm not an every worder. And so
I know. I paid the price, Mark.
And then you look at the things happening in your life and you think, well, you feel like, what did you say? Not abandoned, forsaken.
Forsaken, mate.
Forsaken.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm forsaken.
Only for this life. You mean forever? Like damned?
Well, yeah. If you're forsaken, you're forsaken.
But you're one of His.
Hey?
You're still going home. You might just get a lesser reward or something because you haven't overcome.
I don't know if I am or not.
Well, that's how I was feeling before you got here. Now, since you've been here, I'm feeling good. Amen.
I'm just being honest.
Okay.
This is the stuff that's
probably
on in my head.
The fallen condition, unclean worthy.
That's why I try to make sure that I've got some fruit, because I've got all this stuff going on in my head that just roars all around.
Well, mate,
doesn't make any sense.
You've never been married, never had family. How do you deal with all your passion, desires to be hugged or hold. I mean, you got none of it, right? So what does God expect? To get a robot? And then they bring in the law, don't rape your robot.
Yeah, but remember that celibacy has always been a big part of
that broke away from the original scenes.
thing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and if you look at a woman and it's and it's best not to have sex and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
you look at your own woman, wife.
But it would appear that that's been a lot of people because they're not conformed to this world, right?
Yeah.
So the way their lives are is not the way that most people live their lives, because most people are living their lives conforming themselves to the standards of this world, right?
Yeah.
But other people are rejecting all that, right? And that's what I've done. I've rejected normalcy. I've rejected fitting in with the world and doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Because something in my gut is telling me that, you know, there's no life.
Yeah.
No real life in any of that.
I will tell you one of your flaws, but it's not going to stop you from salvation, brother. Remember the night we sat here and the computer lit up beyond the light? We're talking about it. Boom, there it was. And it was written on the computer. I was talking about it because that's the book I've written, never been published. And then the sun come up. I mean, I know I could see the tree across the road. It was all pitch black. I mean, amazing things happened that night. When you were in the spirit, mate, and remember you wrote the lyrics for a hymn. Now, the flaw is this. You will take your songs to the grave rather than publicly display it, at least if you're not there. And I wanted the following week to go and perform it. I was going to the Seventh-day Adventist thing because I had a big piano there, you know, and I want to perform it. He says, you're not going to perform that in the Seventh-day Adventist church because it's my puppy. I wrote it and you wrote the music. And I lost it. I mean, I lost it in my head because once she said no and I didn't play it anymore, I forgot how to play it. It was the spirit of the high level, that was, man. And I just thought, I would have loved to perform that because who cares? There's no money in it. Just to touch the hearts of many. Yeah. But you weren't there to see it, and you're missing it. See, you miss out on a few things because you think every week's going to be bullshit. Sometimes you go to church, have a really good experience, and other times it's bullshit, you know. That's my thing. I've been trying to get to church for the last 5 weeks. And
remember you said it was a Don Francisco song.
Oh, mate, I can't remember it now. But anyway, the lyrics were amazing. You did make a few changes because you gave me some rhythm and accenting and all this. It was great, that was.
Yeah.
And the last 5 Sundays I've been trying to get the church and my legs pack up every Sunday with the diabetes thing, and I couldn't get the church. I said, God, and then you turn up. So that's 2 or more gather. That is the church. That's enough. Yeah.
We just gotta somehow just keep trusting and hoping.
Well, mate,
and not, even though we can't make sense of anything.
We're not the scenes teachers. I'm onto something here too. It's not that you can't release.
Not the what?
The scenes were teaching this sort of thing too. It's not that you can't release, like masturbation thing, right? It's the porn. It's fake. Even though you can repent. You shouldn't be watching porn every single time. You should be just doing it without the... Some woman can do it without even thinking of a guy. It's emotional thing.
It's a lot deeper than that, okay?
Yeah, deeper.
And it's tied in with the semen.
Yeah, the semen.
Okay? It's tied in with that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hold back as long as you can.
That's all our energy
and power
is in the semen, because
creation.
The semen actually creates people, right? So there's kind of like cosmic power in that, and if we're just splashing it around,
down the
it's not a good thing.
No,
it's not good.
No,
and we're losing power and energy, and that's why celibacy was stressed, not because of rules, but because Jesus and God knows that we lose power.
Yep.
When it's unsanctioned, you know what I mean? When it's random and wild, we lose power.
Yeah.
That's why he said it's best not to have sex. Not because of some dogma, but everything was for us.
Build it up, yeah.
Because it helps us to keep it in. Because it's our power.
I know.
And when we let it out illegitimately, we lose power.
Exactly. It's true.
Energy.
True, yeah.
And that's what been...
It keeps us on a lower level.
That's what it's about. So, It's about our power.
But what's the point of keeping it in and become sanctimonious and stuff? Because I've done all that. I end up bloody religious.
Yeah, well, see, that's... If someone else wants to be sanctimonious, that's got fuck all to do with me. Good luck to them. I'm worried about myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, me.
Yeah.
They've all got their own destiny. Their own, you know?
It's like I would rather be a slave to a smoke, which I hope I overcome, but than be a slave to man, prophet, priest, pastor, bishop, anyone. I want to be a slave to because when I got out of that mental hospital, I did smoke because my spirit spoke to me, go out and do what the mental patients are doing. They're all freaking smoking. I was cured, man, straight away. I was wearing a white suit to the freaking garbage truck. And the doctor said, you're cured, man. Don't go back to religion. Because that poison somehow snapped me out of it. Self-righteous.
Remember, it's not what goes into the mouth,
no,
but what comes
but not
out.
abuse it. But not abuse it.
This
is a weekend, mate. This is different.
It's not what goes into the mouth that condemns a man, but what comes out.
And happy is that man or woman who condemn themselves not for the thing that they do.
Yeah.
Why confess it if you don't feel guilty about it? Yeah? Like that friggin' Mormon stake president, arsehole worked for the bloody Prime Minister. He kicked the man off his mission for having a wet dream, wasn't in the manual. Went and killed himself. He rejected his friggin' marriage.
We were told
and the son kicked me out.
About stuff. That's why
that's
why I like talking about it. It's why I don't mind talking about my sins and that, because we're supposed to. Because it helps.
Yeah.
We're supposed to confess our sins to each other. Right?
Yeah. But if you can trust,
That's what I'm doing now.
I did for a baptism. Went and told my ex and everything that I was screwing around in bloody East Pakistan. And I wasn't. I told him the truth. It was a halfway job thing. Not halfway.
You can tell the wrong people.
Possibility, yeah.
You can tell the
wrong people, mate. And he twisted it.
That's why
you know what?
Safe talking about this.
He's trying to get the woman off me.
But I couldn't talk about this with other people at certain people.
No.
But I'm talking about this you in that context of confessing,
trying
to be honest and everything, okay? And
it's been
having
good.
nothing to hide. But I know it's safe. You're not going to condemn me or judge me.
No, because I'm a sinner myself.
You're going to listen to me, just like I listen to you. I don't condemn or judge you, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm going to take off.
All right, mate.
But before I do that, I just want 2 minutes.
Play a bit of piano? Yeah. All right, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much. God bless.
Yeah, that's sweetie.